Hi, welcome back to Mad Mike's Garage. Today, we're going to change out the power steering fluid on my 2007 Sierra Classic LBZ Duramax truck. Last week, the truck left me down. I had no power steering and no power brakes. I thought for sure I needed to put a pump on it, but I did some research, and then I fired up the truck, gave it some throttle, and voila, I had power steering and power brakes. So apparently this is a known issue once your fluid gets old, that the high relief valve in your pump gets jammed up. And I'm going to show you today how to change out your power steering fluid so this doesn't happen to you when you really need your vehicle. Here's a little sample of the stuff you're going to need to do the job. You're going to need a pair of pliers. As far as tools, that should be it. Some clear tubing, or any tubing, a container to put the old fluid in, and some new power steering. So that's it. I'll put the links in the description for the power steering fluid. This is Lucas. It was $5.30 a quart. That's really cheap right now. I had $10 in this tubing, but I'm sure you can find something cheaper. I got clear so I can see when the fluid transitions from old to new. So that should be it. I just have a rag here. I'm going to jam it down so we get a mess. It'll stay down in there and not run over the whole vehicle. And as you can see, that fluid it should be clear, and it's definitely well used. I'm not complaining. This is a 340,000 mile rig. Had to say rig. It's just a truck though. So bam, 3/8 fits perfectly. I'll put a link to this in the description as well. We have any type of transfer pump. I'm about to buy a nice one that either runs off of electric or air pressure. This works. You just put the one tube in your power steering pump and you use the bulb to siphon, and then you drain your fluid out. Of course, you take your power steering pump cap off first, and then once you take your cap off here, you put your tube down in there and completely empty the reservoir. That's the first step. I have this nice big funnel. I'll put a link in the description for this as well. I really like this one. It was like, I think it was like $8, I don't know, $7. We're gonna fill up our power steering pump here and just take notice. Look how clear that fluid is coming out, and then remember what was coming out of that other hose. So that's why the power steering valve got locked up. I guess it gets contaminants in it and then it just sticks. The brake is definitely doing it. The steering has no effect at all on this hydrogen vehicle. I need to empty my container here. And I want to show you guys what's going on. I was completely wrong with the earlier assumption that the steering would do this jacked up on jack stands. But as you can see, this fluid, it was definitely in dire need of being changed out. It's almost completely black. So we will keep doing this until this fluid does not look like this. It is starting to lighten up some, but it is not by no means clear yet. And all I'm doing is pumping the brakes. I pump the brakes about 4 or 5 times. Then I come around and I top off the power steering pump. This clear funnel makes it pretty nice. I can see what's going on, and I can tell when it's just about full. Okay, there we go. The fluid now is definitely not as dark as it was, but after almost 3 quarts dumped into it, I am not gonna lie, a little surprised at how dark it is down here. The Hydroboost method that I started using is definitely working, and the fluid is starting getting clear, but it is still not what I was hoping it was. I've seen people that did the power steering pump method, and that didn't have Hydroboost, and it cleared up within like 1.5 quarts. And here I am 3 quarts in, and this definitely didn't work as well as I was figuring it was going to. I'm not gonna lie, but it is much clearer than what it was. Okay guys, I finished up here. I was completely wrong on this whole deal. What you're gonna need to do is fire your truck up if you have a Hydroboost. Pull your line off here and just cycle your brakes. If you're by yourself, 4 or 5 pumps, top your pump back off, 4 or 5 pumps, and just keep going till your fluid's clear again. That's really all there is to it. The systems without the Hydroboost here were completely different. You can just take your line off the back of the pump and just cycle your steering back and forth. That's why I jacked the vehicle up, and I put it on jack stands here, so it would be easier to turn with the engine off. But it was fine. Like I said, 4 or 5 pumps was about it. I'd put in, it took a good bit of fluid, but I just didn't want the pump starving itself, introducing air in the system and causing me headaches down the road. So like I said, that was about it. 4 or 5 pumps and add fluid. Rinse and repeat. I did it like 10 times. I went through almost the full 3 quarts of fluid that I bought, but my fluid is pretty clear now. It's not crystal clear, but it's way better than what I started with. So I would recommend doing this. It's really easy because this is so easy to get to. You don't have to dive down in the middle of the engine and get the line off the pump. So thanks for watching. Use the links in my description to buy your oil, to buy your hose.
Waking up fly.